collects here in this little part right here. And so that's a problem because when people breathe in like that, these things right here, these are called alveoli, and they are like grapes. You know how like grapes are on, there's like a little vine, and then there's like a cluster of grapes. You have a bunch of those here, a bunch of those here, right? And you go, and you fill those things up with air, right? You fill those things up with oxygen, and then that oxygen goes into your blood so that your body can do things like digest all the yummy strawberries, or wiggle your fingers, or wiggle your toes, or run, or jump, or play. But what happens with the problem with this virus is that people get sick, and like fluid collects in these bottom of these grapes, these clusters of grapes. So if there's already something there, and you try to bring air in, what's the problem? Itching? You just have to take a bath tomorrow. So what happens is if there's too much fluid in the bottom of that grape, then when the oxygen comes in, it doesn't fill enough. So then people don't get enough oxygen in. And when they don't get enough oxygen in, things don't work as well as they do. Because all of the cells in your body need the oxygen. So then these people kind of feel like they're drowning. Because all of this right here, you see all these little things?
Breathe that way.
Yeah, they don't breathe very well. Because look, isn't this kind of look like grapes?
Yeah.
Like in clusters?
Yeah.
So all of these things are filling up with fluid. And then they're not getting the oxygen down here into their lungs. And then that means the oxygen is not going into where? What? What's here? In the heart. And remember, where does the heart go? To the rest of the body. And then your body is not doing very good things of like beating and moving and jumping and playing. That's not very good, is it? So they get really sick. It's not really good. They don't breathe very well. And then the lungs don't get rid of that stuff I was talking about, the CO2. That's not good. So they get really sick. Yeah.
Not sex, but like.
So these are your muscles. And your muscles help
Is
you
that a
run.
grandma?
It kind of looks like her grandma, doesn't it? She's still moving pretty good though. But you know what? All of these muscles all need oxygen in the blood. They need it a lot. They need it to do that. 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 They even need it to do this. And they even need to do it to do this. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. So let's see, what do we have now? Digestion. Your body, digestion, you need oxygen to do that too. So when you ate dinner tonight, it went down here to two. That is true, it is. And so it went down in here, and then this is your stomach, and then it goes into your small intestine, and then it goes through your large intestine.
Wait,
and you know what?
Is this where you
Poop? No, this is your stomach. So in your stomach, there's acid and the stuff that like kind of makes, so like, you know how there's,
stomach.
so you know how there's an apple? Do you poop out apples?
Sometimes.
You don't poop out a whole
No.
apple. Does it
No.
look like an apple when you poop it out?
No.
No. So right here in your stomach, there's a bunch of stuff that breaks down the apple a little bit, you see? So like, here's the carrot, and it goes down, it's like getting broken down, and then it goes through the small intestine, which is this part in the middle, and that pulls things out, and then in the large intestine, that pulls more thing, it like pulls out like the water of the apple, and so then that way, at this point, it's like becoming poop, like stool, right, is what another word that we cross for it. And then it gets down to here, and then soon your body says, oh, I gotta poop. And so this is your cecum, and it goes, you go and sit on the toilet, and then you poop, and get it out.
Sometimes.
So these are all tubes. It's like pipes. It's like straws, and like where everything goes, and things get taken care of. And all of that needs oxygen.
Yeah, because if you don't poop, it'll lock up all of
You make a really good point. And you know what? Some people get really sick from that. So it's called an obstruction. So like if your poop, say you aren't drinking enough water and you're not pooping enough because your poop is not soft enough. You know how like have you ever played with Play-Doh and left it out? Or like clay and left it out? What happens when you play with clay and it left it out?
It's like really solid.
Like solid, like really hard.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't like do what you want it to do. That can happen to poop. It can get really hard and it can get stuck. And that's not good because if it gets stuck, what happens? Things can't go. Yeah, they can't go out. They can't go and poop. And that's bad because then everything backs up. And do you think we want poop in our body?
No.
No. We
It
want the good
will
stuff.
come all the way up to here.
No, it doesn't go all the way up to. Well, actually, technically, in a way, it can kind of go up to the mouth if you have a serious obstruction.
Yeah, because it goes into
What?
Go in here.
So then but usually before that, you go and have surgery.
Yeah.
Those people don't feel very good.
And girls, who does that kind of surgery?
Ooh, you know who does that surgery?
Oh, then they throw up poop.
Yeah, well, yeah. And poop is really important. You really need to poop.
Yeah. It goes out the other way.
Oh, here's the kidneys that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So, remember I was telling you, like when you drink water, when you drink anything, does it come out the same way that it goes in?
No.
See, these are your kidneys.